Hello, I'm Christine Weber. Welcome to my weekly live stream. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about rest, and then I'm going to show you one of my favorite poses, Supta Baddha Konasana, with lots of adaptations, variations, and props. So I hope that you enjoy this pose. If you've done it before, I would still stick around because I might be teaching it just a little different than you've learned it before. Okay, so I'm in Asheville, North Carolina. Well, actually, right now I'm at my friend's house. He lives up in Marshall, which is about 20 minutes north of the city. And Marshall suffered quite a lot of devastation, although he is up on a hill. So he has Wi Fi. And I do not have Wi Fi at my house. Actually, we just got a Starlink system. So I've been able to use Wi Fi at my house a little bit, but I'm only getting like 70 megabytes per second when I usually get 1 gig, which is what I need to live stream. So that's why I'm here instead. Yeah, lots going on right now in terms of, personally, in terms of like processing all the trauma, but also the community wise. There's been just such a heartwarming, incredibly beautiful response to this trauma that I'm seeing from my friends that live here, all over Asheville. Incredible people doing incredible things, and then also we've had so much support from the federal government, from the army, from people, individuals coming from everywhere. So, one thing I would like to request is please do not politicize this catastrophe for your own gain. It is not a political thing. People are coming, they're helping, they're real people. There are real people here from all sorts of organizations helping. There's nothing political about a disaster. Well, I guess you could say there's lots of political things about a disaster, but in terms of the recovery, um, it's just so sweet and heartwarming to see what's happening. And when I hear that people have been threatened, there's been threats against some of the recovery workers. That's heartbreaking because these people come with their hearts open to help. I've met tons of them. There's like a fleet of trucks in this parking lot near my neighborhood that are all from, I think, the electric company. I don't know where they're from. They're all the same truck, and these guys are out there all day long working to fix things. So I'm so deeply grateful for the response we've had to this community, including, I have to give a little shout out to my high school class of 1984, Council Rock, uh, because unbeknownst to me, I just saw it on our page. One of the guys from my class, his name's Scott Strange. I want to give a shout out to Scott. He has a semi truck, and the class got together and they're filling it up with supplies and they're driving it down here in a couple of weeks. So it's just so heartwarming to see what's been happening. And thank you, all of you who've reached out, by the way, because it's really makes me feel great, and makes everyone feel great to know people support us. So, okay, let's get down to what we're talking about today. And it is relevant because trauma is exhausting on the body, right? And it just so happens that in my group, the Resilient Society, which is my membership group, we've been talking about this month, we've been working with chronic fatigue. And so this is one of the poses I want to show you that I've been using for chronic fatigue. It's called Supta Baddha Konasana, which means reclined, supta, supine, right? Reclined bound angle pose. One of my I've been using this pose forever. So there's many ways you can do this pose. I like to have a blanket down on the mat because it offers that kind of support to the hips here. And then I love using a bolster for this pose, and lots of ways you can do it, right? But one of the ways I do it is I put the bolster about 1/3 of the way, maybe 1/2. It's about 1/3. The reason I do that is because when you come down into the pose, if the block is here, that's what's going to happen, and you lose that opening in the chest effect, right? So scooting it under a little bit, not too much, keeps it open. When you lie down, you won't have that, it depends on how stiff your bolster is, of course. Now, the next thing I want to show you is how to strap a strap. Because when you use a strap, you want it to be tight, right? You don't want it to slip. So if you just stick the, thing in there any which way, it will slip out. And so you have to hold the top of the strap so that it's slightly curved downward. Now this one is just happens to be one of these buckles. It doesn't curve, but on many of them they'll curve this way, or some of them just have two silver loops. It's the same principle. You take the end of the strap, and you put it into the first hole closest to the other part of the strap, right? It goes there first, and then it comes up and around and it goes into the second hole. And with that, you get to do two things. One is you can pull it here and make it tighter. And the other is that when you're not pulling it there, when you're pulling it here, it won't come out, it won't come loose. And that's critical for what we're going to be doing next. Now, the next piece of this is that you put the strap around, up over your head and around your body. You don't want to put the strap on your waist. You'll lose the effect. The strap has to go, it's actually, you won't lose the effect, but it's just not comfortable in your lumbar. The strap has to go on your hips. So it goes sort of the level of your sacrum, or your, if you have it like the level of your anterior superior iliac spine, the ASIS, these headlights, sometimes we call them in yoga, that stick out, that's a good place for it. Okay, so then you want to get in the right position, and to do that, you need to be about a fist width in front of the bolster. You don't want your back right up to the bolster. The other thing is, when I put the strap over my head, what's important is that this part of the strap that I can pull on is facing towards my body, not away from my body. If it's away from my body, like here, then I'm not going to be able to tighten it. So it has to be towards my body. The other thing is that I don't want that strap anywhere near my feet because it's going to be uncomfortable. So I want it about, halfway between my torso and my feet. The soles of the feet come together. The strap goes over the tops of your feet so that it comes to, you might need a longer strap, but it comes to, that area right around the ball mount of your foot. And then as you lie back, this is where you can make it tighter or looser. To loosen it, you just lift the top of the strap and it'll soften up. So, but my hand's close enough that I don't have to come up. Now I've put 2 couch pillows here because I didn't have more blankets. I'm at my friend's house, right? So I'm not in my regular studio at my house. So the couch pillows work great. Not everybody needs this. I kind of like a little extra. The little extra softness there feels amazing. I like to think about it as a nest. And the other things I don't have that I usually would do is big blanket on top of me. Like, I love the nice, cushy, the really soft, fluffy blankets. I know they're synthetic, but they're good for this because they're so cozy. The fleece blankets. And the other thing that's great is iPillow. iPillow here is wonderful. Arms out to the side. You want to kind of like focus on softening the pectoralis muscles right underneath your collarbone, this area all the way out into the anterior deltoids and the biceps, like that whole inner arm softens. These are yin meridians in Chinese medicine, very nourishing, right? So palms facing up is really nice. You can lower your hands a little bit, raise them a little bit, kind of figure out the right place for them. Get that eye bag on. Eye bag can be on your eyes, but it could also be on your forehead. Yeah, some people just love the feeling of it on the forehead because it's like a weighted blanket, and it just causes the nervous system to go into like a down regulation of the sympathetic or an up regulation of parasympathetic. And determine how far away your feet are from your body. Some people really like the feet in close. I like mine a little bit away because I can stay here longer. It's just more relaxing. You don't have to have the strap. The strap is just optional. I love the strap because then my legs really can let go. I'm not using any muscles to hold my feet in close. That's why I like the pillows too, or blankets. And then the recommendation, you may want to put on some nice music for that, right? That can be nice. And then the recommendation is to stay there for up to 10 minutes, maybe longer. Now, to come out of it, I often will just loosen the strap a little bit, maybe lift my feet and wiggle my feet out and stretch my legs out in front, right? I feel like crossing them, but probably no. um, I like to stay here for a minute or two and feel the effects. The Baddha Konasana, I forgot to mention when you're in it, you can really focus interoceptively on breathing into the pelvis, all the way into the pelvic floor, if you like. It's a lovely way not only to deepen the breath, but also to bring circulation, attention, prana into that area. So it can be a really nice pose for women during the menstrual cycle, especially if you get cramps. It can be really nice, but it's also just really nice for anybody to allow the breath to feel like it's going a little bit deeper. Okay, so that's Supta Baddha Konasana. There's lots of other ways to work with it, but I hope that was helpful. Let me know what else you want me to talk about in my live streams. I hope that's helpful. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next week. Take care.